I'll give you an example of what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You take your car to be serviced.
Yes.
Well, you know what to expect, don't you?
Yes.
You'll be without your car for at least 2 days. Now, don't ask me why. Very likely because the chief fitter uses it to drive his daughters back to finishing school. When you do finally go to collect it, the bill will be twice what you've been led to expect, with no plausible explanation. It won't run quite as well as it did before. Something major will go wrong within a week, and there's a great swathe of oily polythene all over the driver's seat to prove the mechanic sat there when he had his sandwiches.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't a very satisfactory state of affairs.
No.
But there is the other side, isn't there? I mean, would you want to be a motor mechanic? Oil ingrained from toenail to hairline, Monday morning to Friday night. Cut and bruise from banging into bits of car all day. Waiting endlessly in queues at the store for oil feed return pipes, 1979 model with downdraft modification, still on order from Dijon, and rusting away in some container lorry somewhere because the road hauliers are still striking for more Yorkie bars or whatever. One of my patients is married to a motor mechanic.
I see.
You know, he goes home every day homicidally depressed by disgruntled motorists shouting at him about the bill. Covered in oil, sweat, and frustration. She complains about washing his overalls, and they have rows because he always leaves the fairy liquid bottle in the bathroom, covered in great black finger marks. Anyway, the marriage is breaking up now.
The wife can't stand the oil and the depressions.
No. He had an affair with the garage receptionist. No, the wife called in one day with a tub of special offer Swarfiga, and found them both in flagrante delicto in the back of a Volvo estate. He said they were testing the suspension. I think it was as much that witless excuse as the infidelity that inflamed her. She gave the Volvo a terrible kicking, put its lights out. Unfortunately, it was the boss's car. He came in just as she was putting her stilettos through the quartz halogens. A very ugly scene ensued, and the mechanic and the receptionist were dismissed. So they're going to an industrial tribunal, and the wife, my patient, is going to court, which is a great shame, because she was coming on very well till then. She's slightly paranoid, you see, and I think she feels that when people hear that she assaulted an estate car, they might think her a little odd.
Yes.
You see, that's how I see the motor trade. Not infidelity in Volvos, I don't mean, no, but the balance of initial expectation and the reasons for its disappointment. Now, applying that to our situation, you are a worried man.
Oh, yes.
You are worried about the possibilities of dreadful disease, of suffering pain, of aging, dying. You have fears of inadequacy, failure, sexual incompetence. You feel guilty. You totally lack energy, drive, or purpose. You dwell on the enormity of human suffering and the hopelessness of our plight. Okay?
Yes, I think you've got the full set there.
And how old are you now?
Just coming up to 36.
Ah, yes, so you're worried about being 40, I suppose.
Well,
It is a very worrying age in many ways.
Really?
People get very upset about 40. You know, take stock. Have they done well in life? They always think they haven't. Their youth has incontestably gone. They are undeniably middle-aged now, and they face the certainty that it's downhill all the way from then on.
Yes.
Oh, God. Oh, I've got one poor chap's been made redundant at 40. A terrible double blow. Working life probably over. God, redundancies. So many at the moment. An awful lot. Dreadful thing. Man's whole life, everything he's worked for, suddenly thrown away. Imagine how he feels. Not to mention all the kids who'll never work. Have you thought of that? God, I don't know. Things are in a pretty bad way, it seems to me. Anyway, back to you and your expectations of me. What is it you hoped I could offer you?
Oh, I hoped you might be able to cheer me up. I've got that Monday morning feeling.
It's Friday afternoon.
I know, I always think ahead. Another bloody weekend.
What are you going to do?
Oh, straighten up my mouldering house, I suppose. It's in a terrible state. Especially my bed.
What's wrong with your bed?
It hasn't got a woman in it. I don't know, I hated married life, but I'm not knocked out by the alternative.
Well, you should get out more. Mix a bit.
Well, I'm going to a party tonight, actually.
Well, there you are.
A gay party.
Gay?
It's my analyst's party.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Last time he got drunk and sang a song called The Psychoanalyst's Tango, using Valium bottles as maracas. Yes, it was quite fun in a way. No, it wasn't. It was boring beyond belief. Oh, God.
Why don't you give a party? Make an effort.
Yes. This is my birthday in a couple of weeks. Everyone will bring presents.
How old will you be?
36. My God, I'll be 40 soon.
Well, you don't look old.
No, I will do then, yes. All my hair will have gone.
Oh, nonsense. You've got lots of hair.
No, it's getting terribly thin. I'm getting desperate. I started shampooing with Baby Bio last week. Actually, there's a chapter in this book about how to stop going bald. Apparently, sex is very good for your hair.
Really?
Yes. I'll be like Duncan Goodhue by Christmas. Hello, Napley. Now, how can we help you? Stuck on a big word in the junior crossword, are you?
All right. Done any work this week?
Well, I've thought about it once or twice. We were discussing the weekend, Napley. Mm-hmm. How will you be spending yours? Train spotting? What is your vice?
Bit of gardening, I expect.
Oh, you like gardening, do you?
Yes, I dug it all over last weekend. I thought of you, actually.
Really?
Yes. I turned up a hibernating toad. Just like Ruth, I thought. Unattractive and half asleep. Tackle the lawn this week, I reckon. Put the hovermower through its paces. What's your lawn like, Ruth? Covered in bald patches?
Well, I'm off. Have a nice weekend, Ruth.
Thanks, and you.
Happy hovering, Napley. May all your worm casts be little ones.
He is incredible.
He's worried about being 40 now.
Well, if he did a bit of work now and then, he wouldn't have time for all this worry. Oh, well. You doing anything nice this weekend?
I'm going to Welwyn Garden City to see my sister.
Oh. Well, I must be off. I'll see you Monday.
Bye.
Oh, goodbye, Napley. Have a nice weekend.
And you.
Thank you. Has his Nibs done any work this week?
Well...
I had a letter from Gaskell, head office personnel.
Yes.
Said if Mrs. Allardyce took over his plant and vehicle, and Wiggerder did his analysis, and you and Napley divided up the rest, we could make him redundant.
Ah.
Well, I looked into it, and I found that's what we've been doing for the past 5 years. I don't know. How has he escaped the work ethic? How did he manage it, What's this?
Oh, that's Roth's book on hair. Apparently, sex stops you going bald.
Really? No wonder mine's going. Another weekend. You doing anything special, Ruth?
We're going to Welwyn Garden City.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry to hear that.
My sister lives there.
Well, couldn't you smuggle her out?
It's a very nice place.
What's the British disease up to?
He's going to a gay party.
Gay? Well, what on earth is he going to do at a gay party?
Are you hiding here?
Yes, I think I am, rather.
You've not got your boyfriend with you, have you?
No.
Actually, I heard you talking. I'm Liz. We haven't actually...
Philip.
Hello, Philip. I heard you talking to that man over there.
Which one?
The one in the loose-fitting midnight blue toupee.
Dr. Franklin, yes. Yes, it's not a terribly convincing wig, is it?
Convincing? It looks like an immature Brillo pad. You were talking about your wife.
Good Lord.
Yes. He asked you to say what was the best thing about your marriage.
Oh, yes.
And you said punching your wife.
It's a pleasure now denied me, alas.
Really?
Yes, we're divorced.
She got sick of being punched?
I didn't actually punch her, you know. I mean, I wanted to most of the time. Are you an undercover agent for a battered wives charity?
No. It's just your having had a wife does rather set you apart. You do realise we're the only non-gays here.
If I think we're the token straights.
Yes. But quite apart from feeling so irrelevant, this is a very boring party, isn't it? I mean, it's dire.
The last one was worse.
You've been to one before.
Uh-huh. The really grim point was Simon singing this stupid song, and we all had to join in.
Well, he won't be singing now. I think something must be wrong.
Why?
He's just come in with 2 enormous jars of pills. God, what a party.
Yes.
Passing around all those joints, burning joss sticks. God, how 60s. Apart from anything else, Simon's going to get busted. That guy with the beard told me he was a cop.
But the one in the gay-lib sweatshirt?
Yes.
Oh, yes, he is a policeman, yes. Douglas. Yes, it was his dope. He's been having an affair with this chap in the drug squad. He gets good stuff.
Are you telling me the truth?
Oh, yes. Simon's often told me about Douglas.
My word. Aren't our policemen wonderful?
Well, Douglas is okay.
My word, how worldly. And he seems so young.
Didn't he just, yeah? Mind you, ever since I passed 30, this has seemed increasingly true of policemen. You would like some coffee?
Please. Are you going to go bald?
Well, not tonight. Black or white?
Oh, black, please. Oh, see, I don't know if I'm stoned or Brahms and Liszt. This is a nice place.
If you think this is a nice place, you're stoned.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
Kitchen's smart, isn't it?
Yes, I did most of that.
Really? On your own?
Well, no, I suppose Ellen helped. She always did her bit when it came to DIY.
Did she?
Oh, yes. Whatever it was needed doing, I'd do it, and then Ellen would explain what was wrong with it. I make her sound absolutely awful, don't I?
Yes.
Well, as long as you're getting an accurate picture.
See, you knew what to expect. I didn't. I was in one group early on. This guy kept looking at me, showing so much sexual interest. It was like a Desmond Morris film. Talk about body language. He's giving out more signals than the Hooray Light Tower automatic weather station. I really thought my luck was in till I saw that 7-foot black guy behind me.
Yes, my moment was that rugby player, Geraint. He staggered over to me with a pint mug of bull's blood in his hand, and he wasn't holding it by the handle, so you knew he was butch. Within a matter of moments, he was being extremely complimentary about the texture of my trousers.
What did you do?
I was utterly nonplussed. I really didn't know the appropriate etiquette. I don't think it's an area that Barbara Cartland has covered in any great detail. After a lot of stammering about, I eventually came out with the deathless line, "I'm sorry, I'm hetero."
What did he do?
Well, he looked at me like I was a cracked sewer pipe. As well he might. God, I felt so guilty.
Well, why did you go?
Well, Simon insisted. If I didn't, he'd have sulked, and all the next session he'd have told me all about his wicked mother and his unhappy childhood.
Oh, you get that as well, do you?
Oh, yes. How do you know, Simon?
Oh, well, I went to him because I'm a bit paranoid, you know. I get obsessions about things.
Well, what things?
Well, like my nose being too big.
Oh, yes.
Could you express surprise that I think my nose is too big, please? It reassures me.
Oh, well, yes.
I mean, it is slightly large, so what?
Exactly.
A bit pointed.
Well, I mean,
I could burst balloons with it.
I don't think your nose is too big or too pointed.
Well, you must be blind then. This has got a lower drag coefficient than Concorde.
Well, I honestly can't say that from here...
I mean, I'm not worried about it. It's just a little physical thing, you know. Like you going bald.
Yes.
Well, you're not worried about it, are you?
Yes.
Well, it's not much, just a bit. You know, at the crown, your skin started to surface. I mean, you're not going to be like Donald Pleasance or anything.
No.
Not for ages. Do you know what I was thinking at that party? What it must have been like years ago, being gay.
Oh, don't.
I mean, all that queer business. Blackmail, being locked up. And what for? I mean, Simon and Gerald, such a nice couple. So happy. Just like an ordinary married couple.
Oh, I think they're happier than that.
You don't have too much time for marriage, do you?
I had 9 years for it. 9 years, 3 months and 17 days.
Yes, I do know what you mean. It's quite amazing what you can discover you're capable of.
How do you mean?
Well, when I heard you say you hit your wife, I'm afraid I did take you literally. You see, my marriage came to a rather violent end. Very recently.
Oh.
Yes. I'm ashamed to tell you this. But I'm probably the only woman you know who's being prosecuted for causing actual bodily harm to a Volvo estate.
Hello, Big Nose. Baldy here.
Oh, thank God you phoned.
Well, that's an encouraging start.
Oh, I didn't have your number and I wanted to apologise.
What for?
What for? I was so rude. I mean, I don't think you're untidy at all, and you got lots of hair. I mean, I was drunk, and you were so good, and you drove me home, and I was so rude.
Still, you really have got a big nose.
I have not. I just get paranoid when I drink.
Do you fancy dinner one night this week?
Oh, that'd be lovely.
Excellent. Well, could I pick you up tomorrow or Wednesday about 7?
Fine, tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, no, Wednesday. Tomorrow the Volvo stores have got a late night and I'm pricing parts.
Just seen this chap, you know, has a recurring dream.
Oh, yes?
Actually, he dreams a lot, a very great deal. Has very bizarre dreams, which may well be of a help to us.
Yes.
A help in the therapy. So he recounts them all, you know, in careful detail.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's boring.
Oh, dear.
Nothing more boring than other people's dreams.
No.
Then he goes on about his childhood without being asked. I mean, God, when it comes to unhappy childhoods, I could tell him a thing or two. My God. I mean, my mother would
yes,
have made...
yes, you mentioned, yes, yeah.
Oh. Enjoy the party, did you?
Oh, very much, thanks. Yes, it was great fun.
Yeah, I thought it went off well. Geraint misbehaved himself as usual.
Geraint.
That Welsh wing forward. 2 glasses of bull's blood and his groping everything in trousers. Very embarrassing. Makes you realise what women have to put up with.
Yes.
Bit of excitement after you left.
Really?
We were raided by the drug squad.
No.
tell you something else. Most amazing thing. Dr. Franklin wears a wig.
No.
He does. Extraordinary. The police were hammering at the front door, so Dr. Franklin nips out the back. And there's this policeman there who grabs him by the hair. Well, he's left holding this doormat. Dr. Franklin looks like...
Donald Pleasant.
Exactly. He was most upset. And this young policeman says, "All right, sir, keep your hair on." I ask him. Thinks the whole thing's a huge joke. Nasty little smart aleck. Only a kid, too.
Well, what happened?
Oh, Douglas got Gerald on one side and told him who to offer bribes to and how much. I was very worried because we could never have afforded it. The place looked like open day at Hendon Police College. Swarming with coppers. Headman obviously thought he was Gene Hackman, was going to find a few kilos of heroin. All looked a bit ludicrous when this young policeman held up this little brown lump the size of a pea and said in a triumphant voice, "I've got it, sir." Turned out Douglas had given them two addresses, the one to raid and the one where he'd be.
Oh, and they got them mixed up.
Well, yes. I mean, somewhere there's scar-faced villains dividing up plastic bags of heroin by the hundredweight, all unmolested, while we face charges on 0.5 gram of Afghanistan black.
Afghanistan?
Yes. Well, Gerald always asked for Afghanistan, you know, to support the freedom fighters.
Yes. Well, what happened?
Nothing. Turned out to be curry powder.
Curry powder?
Yes. We'd all been sucking turmeric smoke into our lungs all evening.
Good God.
Yes. Something I don't understand, though.
What's that?
Gerald got as high as a kite on it.
Claims analysis. Well, I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance, Miss Big Nose. Well, I'm not completely bald, actually. I mean, it's going a bit, you know. I have a polo mint haircut. And I must say, most people seem kind enough not to draw attention to it. No, that's all right, my dear. I was just seizing the opportunity of embarrassing you. I think the baldy you're after is the still enviably hirsute Roth. He's not here at the moment. He works on a part-time basis. Oh, yes, he's employed on a full-time basis. He just works on a part-time basis. Yes, I am, I suppose, what you would call his superior. Certainly difficult to imagine how anybody could be his inferior. I'm the one known as the old man. I'm only 54, and from the way I look in the mirror, a damn good advertisement for middle age, but there it is. Yes, I'll tell him. Of course Roth can have private calls, Miss Big Nose. And perfectly certainly never has work ones. Bye.
That was Simon.
Oh, yes? How is he?
He's fine. He's heard about us.
Oh, yes.
He's very pleased.
Oh, good, good.
I mean, I told him we were both
Laid back.
low-key about it. Grown up, been hurt once.
Yes, yes.
You know what we're doing. And he says it'll be really good for both of us.
Oh, yes.
And I told him about the Volvo
Settling out of court.
and about the divorce being uncontested, and he's really pleased.
Well, good.
Also, he knows it's your birthday on Wednesday.
Aha, so he's giving us...
A party to celebrate.